Hey everyone, it is High here bringing another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we're going to be discussing the new revival mechanic coming to the JP version of the game during the 6-year anniversary. So with that, let's go ahead and dive right into all this information. A big shout outs to Cody, 99%. His Twitter link will be in the description below. Definitely follow him. Check out this Twitter feed that he has with all the information that really he's provided to all the community. We're all discussing about it based off of this information. I'm going to provide you this summary and some highlights and just my thoughts on this new revival mechanic. So once again, link will be in the description below. Let's talk about this revival mechanic. So my thoughts here is it looks like they're trying to help newer players or players that are more free to play and less wailing out in this game, to try to help them complete Super Battle Road or Extreme Super Battle Road, because those are the hardest portions of Dokkan Battle at this point in time. And because we found out that there's going to be a new event, this Tournament of Power Gods of Destruction event, that they say this is going to be as hard as Extreme Super Battle Road, they're going to want these new Dokkan Festival exclusive featured LR units to be necessary to pull to possibly help you beat this mode here. And maybe there's going to be a lot of good rewards, things of that nature. So they're going to really tease a lot of individuals, low to play, free to play, whales as well, to say, hey, you know what, if you want to complete this mode, or you want to make Extreme Super Battle Road a lot easier, or Super Battle Road a lot easier, you're going to summon for these revival units. So I'm going to be very interested in seeing how difficult this mode is going to be, or this event with the God of Destructions. And yeah, so this revival mechanic, how it's really set up is if you get killed or KO'd, usually it's a game over, right? You can do two things. You can either use your Dragon Stone to continue. Some modes don't allow you to do that, and never use your Dragon Stone to continue, by the way. So even in Dokkan events, things of that nature. But some modes won't allow you, like Super Battle Road, like some other events and things of that nature. So this mechanic here, I am guessing you're still able to use it in certain modes and certain events. Now, we found out, with Cody's information, that the bosses here can disable revival. So there's going to be certain situations and certain events that won't allow you to do revival, just like dodging and maybe stunning and stuff like that. But I'm assuming that in Super Battle Road, they're going to allow you to do it. And this new event, they're going to allow you to do it with the Gods of Destructions. Because, since you can't continue, you can't use the Dragon Stone to continue with Super Battle Road, this is going to be a very, very powerful tool. And really skill and mechanic to have. So how does it work? Well, basically, what we know is that it works kind of like Dokkan mode. So once again, you see the little made up card art for the LR, custom card art for the LR mastered UI Goku, or just Ultra Instinct Goku, that we know that will be dropping in the 6-year anniversary. But how the revival skill is going to work is going to be very similar to your Dokkan mode, where you have to power it up. So I don't know if it's going to be orbs that you're going to need to get. I don't know if it's going to be damage you have to take or attacks you have to do. But at some point in time, whatever the mechanic or whatever the skill is, you're going to be able to have this revival mechanic be activated. And instead of getting KO'd, it's gonna have this cut-in screen, just like a counter would have, right? Like a little counter or super attack showing here. And once again, instead of game over, you get to survive, and you have this revival. Now, we know that we have some of these dynamics of transformation, things of that nature. And what we know from this information saying, well, if you're going to get revived, something's going to happen. And, if you're going to use Master UI Goku or UI Goku here, we know when he fought Jiren, his body couldn't handle the power of Ultra Instinct, and he ends up, losing all his power. So that would make a lot of sense. And we know from the information that the card art is going to change if a unit has this revival dynamic, just like a transformation. So in this case scenario, it would definitely make sense that you become weaker, not stronger, like a transformation. All transformations, like Cooler and UI Goku and Evolution, all these transformation units that we have, they all get stronger. But I think in this case scenario, because you're about to lose, or you would have lost if you didn't have this unit, you're actually going to be a little bit weakened, and the unit, for example, this UI Goku is going to be base form Goku instead of Ultra Instinct, and then you're going to have to just play the game with that. So it'll be very interesting to see what the passive skill is, things of that nature. So much different than like Retreat or Transformation. Revival is going to, you're going to have a weakened character versus a more powerful character, once again, instead of you losing, right? So it's a huge trade-off, but it's a worth it trade-off instead of you having to start over. So so that's really what I think is going to happen. Cody's information did not say your unit will be weaker, right? They did mention that the card art will change, and I only assume that you are going to be weaker based off of Revival because you just got KO'd, right? So so once again, that would make total sense. Now I think this is a very, very powerful mechanic and very, very powerful skill. But the question is, I think each skill, how do you activate it? Yeah, you're going to have a bar to then activate it, but I think you're going to have certain requirements as well. So for example, maybe UI Goku here is you have to do a lot of attacks to fill up that bar. And when you fill up that bar, you're able to have this revival mechanic be activated. I'm thinking that's going to be the case. On the flip side, I think possibly if Vegeta is going to be the other Dokkan Festival exclusive unit, I think it could be taking damage. So if you take a lot of damage, that revival bar will go up. This cut-in scene will happen. And here's what would be really cool. Once again, this is just speculation here. It'd be really cool that that Evolution Vegeta, you're gonna actually, when you get KO'd, you're gonna have a real counter, and you actually attack, like with Final Explosion here. And he uses Final Explosion. You get the cut in here, you do the Final Explosion, you do some damage to the enemy, maybe kill them, and maybe you survive that way based off the revival. But if the enemy is still alive, you get revived, and but then of course you're going to be weaker, right? So this would be shirtless Vegeta in base form. Once again, you didn't die, you get to keep on playing, and here you go, revived or survived. So I guess should have been called a survival skill versus maybe a revival skill. I don't know. So, but anyway, so I think this is something that they've created once again just for these modes that are being so difficult to pass without continuing, right? So no continuing on Extreme Super Battle Road and things of that nature. So I think this is very interesting. But another thing that Cody didn't mention in the details is when you get revived. I don't know if he did or not mention this. Do you have all your HP back? Is Krillin going to throw out a Senzu Bean to you and say, hey, here's all your HP back? Or you're left with whatever HP you had before you died, right? Because you might have just got, a big super attack in the face, and you might have had, half of your HP, and then when you're revived, you still have half of your HP. Or if you use the revival mechanic, it's going to be all your HP back. That's something we don't know yet. Maybe each skill is going to be different. But, are we going to get a Krillin or not? So what about some other units that maybe are in the Tournament of Power? I'm thinking, you know what? Can't we get a better MVP 17? MVP 17 is a very, very important character in the Tournament of Power, right? He's the sole survivor. He's the winner. And I'm thinking that, and Frieza, that's kind of comes to mind. But, of course, Frieza just had a unit come out. I wonder if they're going to add something to it. Once again, we don't know all the details, but it'd be very, very fun if they started adding revival mechanic to other units. But it seems like they're going to just extend it, and new units are going to have this revival skill. But unfortunately, when these new skills come out, not too many units have them, right? Transformation was a lot of individuals, right? Like Retreat. What happened to Retreat? And we've only have a very small amount of unit super attacks, right? So I think only 4 or 5 units that have unit super attacks. So things like that like, come on, let's make this more usable. So so comment below and tell me what other units, maybe outside of Tournament of Power, that should possibly have a revival skill linked to them. So anyway, that's really the summary for the skill. I like it. Once again, the question is your HP gonna go increase? Are you going to be weakened afterwards? That's what it seems like. That's what it would make sense that you're going to be weakened on there. Are you going to be able to attack? Is the revival skill going to, you know, be a real counter, or just really just a counter mechanic on there? And will it work differently to increase that revival meter? Like I mentioned, you know, is Vegeta taking damage versus maybe Goku dealing damage, and that's why he ends up needing to get revived, right? So anyway, just me rambling on from here on out, and tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. And if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and of course hit that notification button to stay up to date with all my latest videos. So with that, yeah, if you're new to my channel, oh, I said that already. Thank you for watching. Keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time. Later.